I think he's the candidate of the hour. I mean, he has an uncanny ability to identify issues that are pertinent and important to the public. And even though he may not know all the answers at first, he knows how to get the answers. He knows how to pick the people and form the teams in order to devise the policies that are necessary to solve these problems. I have to say that I did not know about him when we started this campaign.
Every campaign he matched the immigrant situation, and he attacked that every time. What's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. What he's doing is important.
Maybe the altitude of maybe not say that correctly. Maybe it's that in strong.
No, he has a way of using words that may not be all that eloquent, but as I said, he put his finger exactly on that issue. That Americans are concerned about immigration. They're concerned about it for a lot of reasons. They're concerned about it because 11 million people came into the United States illegally. I mean, that's unprecedented. And the current president and candidate Clinton want to turn these people overnight into citizens. They already did it last week with 1,000 of them that were supposed to be deported, and they became citizens by mistake of the Department of Homeland Security. So this is not an acceptable thing. Borders matter. This is an important point that Trump has introduced in this campaign. Globalism has failed. Borders matter. Nation states matter, immigration laws matter, and they must be enforced. And his idea is right on. I must tell you, I'll just say one personal thing. My grandparents wanted to come to the United States in the 1920s, and that's when they put a prohibition on any more Jews from Eastern Europe. They waited 10 years in a foreign country, Cuba, learned Spanish. My mother was born in Havana, Cuba. Waited 10 years before they got their visa. They came in, they built a life. That's what people expect the immigration laws to do. It's supposed to be fair. If you don't come in legally, you don't have the right to become a citizen and stay.
Let's talk about the last agreement that he signed. That's very good for Israel. A lot of money comes from America to Israel. It's not good. This is the policy that Hillary Clinton wants to proceed.
Well, this agreement, I have to say, is a lot of what we call in English smoke and mirrors. Okay. It replaced an earlier agreement, a 10-year agreement, where the United States was guaranteeing that Israel would receive, over the 10-year period, over $31 billion in aid. But at the same time, the Congress was allocated another $600 million every year to help us build our missile defense system, like Iron Dome. So what Obama did, it was like a spin situation. He took the $600 million per year for 10 years, which is $6 billion, added it to the $31 billion that was already in the place, and we come up with something close to $38 billion. I mean, nothing has changed there. But what has changed, in the amount of money, but what has changed is that Obama forced Israel to accept restrictions on further funding, either by the Congress or by the government, or even if Congress would offer Israel additional monies, even if Israel didn't ask for it, Israel's undertaken not to take it. I mean, we're going to be facing an Iranian nuclear threat even under Obama's timetable in 8 or 9 years. And we're not going to be able to respond to that? I mean, that's silly. It's stupid. And it's also deceitful.
Okay. A lot of people in Israel are very confused. Who is good for Israel? And let's not forget that the policy of Obama, every time that Israel build in the capital city, Jerusalem, the State Department condemned that. But we don't see a clear reward from Trump about Jerusalem.
You're absolutely mistaken. I mean, first of all, Trump has stated explicitly that Jerusalem is the only and undivided and capital of the state of Israel, and that a necessary consequence of that is that the embassy has to move here. Now, every president since Bill Clinton has waived moving the embassy here under U.S. law. I think if there's anybody that's going to change that, it's Donald Trump. But the other thing that's really important here is what I said earlier. Donald Trump has stated, and this is a revolutionary concept, that America has no business telling Israel how to run Israel's internal affairs. And that includes building in Jerusalem, building in Judea, building in Samaria, and building in the Golan Heights. Those are issues for the Israeli government and the Israeli people to decide themselves. The United States has no business, and other countries for that matter, coming in and trying to interfere and to tell the Israelis what to do. This is an extraordinary concept. It's never been tried, because in every administration since the Six-Day War, Republican and Democrat have come in and said to Israel, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. Two-state solution. Two-state solution. It's become like a mantra. Okay? We, in the Republican Party, wiped that word out, that whole phrase out of our platform on Israel. It's no longer there. And it's not to say that we're against two-state solution, but we want to open our eyes to the reality and look at what's really happening on the ground, and not simply tell the people, Israelis and Arabs, how they should settle their affairs.
Okay, the last question is, there is no doubt that this election very tight.
Yes.
Who is going to win?
Well, I'm doing everything I can here in Israel to make sure that Donald Trump wins. We've got close to 200,000 people, American citizens, registered. They are coming not only from the big states like New York and California, but also important swing states like Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. And just as it happened in 2000, when Israeli votes may well have turned the election into to George W. Bush, I mean, this election could go that way. It's that close.